Alright guys, say hi to YouTube because it's deck profile time. Yeah. Alright, today's deck profile, generously given by our Twitch subs today, is gonna be my Beelzemon deck profile. Now, I originally built a Beelzemon deck, but it was really fun and it didn't have a high win rate, but now it does. I have come up with a Beelzemon deck that can beat the meta consistently, including D-Reaper. Yeah, so we're going to do the deck profile today, and if you guys like it, or you hate it, like the video anyway, comment and tell me what you think, subscribe, turn the notification bell to smash potatoes, that way you know when all these Digimon videos go live, and we're going to start with the babies, like we always do. We are just playing for Pagu, and we are playing one Xiaomon for the retaliation at 10 more cards in trash. Eli convinced me that this card is the way, so shout out to Eli if you're watching this. And the 4 Pagu is just super good on deletion. Mill 2. Really strong card. Need to mill cards. Yep. Alright. For our basics, we're playing 4 Impmon. Playing 4 Impmon. There's no glare there. Okay. So, if this card is trashed from the deck, except by itself, this is really important verbiage, because not everyone knows this, okay? It says, you may trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck. Sometimes I still see people just mill 3 and deck themselves out. You may trash up to 3. Good. And then I'll play your top 4 cards, and then you add a Beelzemon Digimon in its name, or I and Mako on play. So that's really good. Well, not the rest. And the inheritable Beelzemon gets 3,000 DP during your turn. That's just unnecessary, if you ask my opinion. But it comes up. This mon is also mandatory as a 4 of. On deletion, mill 3. Yep, okay, cool. It's a dual deck. Now, for the highly contentious rookie decision, where people are going to yell at me in the comment section, we're playing 2 BT6 Empmon. So, I was under the impression when this deck first came out that this was a mandatory 4 of. There is no way you couldn't play 4 of this card, because it adds back your Beelzemons. That's exactly what that card does. However, it doesn't have a deletion effect, or an on-play or a mill effect. It's literally just the worst Impmon if you mill it. It sucks. I'm only playing 4 of the rookies that help me delete, or help me search, or help me mill my deck. Everything else is not a 4 of. That was the first thing I learned about Beelzemon. It's a really good effect on play, but it's mitigated by the fact that we play Calling from the Darkness. Spoiler alert. So 2 of this is actually fine. You use these late game if you need to grab a Beelzemon, or don't use them at all. That happens too sometimes. So we do play 2 of these. We're playing 2 Psychmon, because it does help your D-Reaper matchup. Now, again, another contentious thing. I know people that play 4 Psychmon in their deck, because apparently D-Reaper auto wins against Beelzemon. That's also just not true. Sure, it's an uphill matchup, but if you high roll and you play right, you can just beat D-Reaper. It's not hard. I would say it's not easy. Like, it's definitely just your worst matchup in my opinion, but you can do it. So we play 2 Psychmons. It does help. It does help. We want a stream deck sound. What's a good stream deck sound for YouTube? I have no idea what one I want. So we're just gonna go with the old classic. I'm gonna come. There we go. There's a good stream deck sound for YouTube. Our last rookie is just one Gazimon, because it is a floodgate for memory gaining cards. And yeah, it's a good card. One Gazimon. That's actually it for our rookies. 13 rookies is fine. It's really just honestly okay. Champions. The best champion in this deck is 4 Soulmon. It has an inheritable that says when a card is trashed, you gain a memory once per turn. It's also a 4-cost champion to play, which comes in handy sometimes, because sometimes you don't have rookies. So that's just really good. It's a really good champion. Recommend. We play 2 Lowemon. It's just purple Lobo for game. That's it. And the last champion we're playing is actually Dobermon. In testing, I have bounced anywhere from 1 to 4 copies of this card. And I'm back on one. Because it does have on deletion, that's cool. You trash top 3 cards of your deck and add a purple Digimon card, a purple Tamer back to your hand, which is really cool. That's basically what it does. But it's super unnecessary, if you ask my opinion. Because you want to be building up your stacks, unless you plan on warping a rookie into Beelzemon. So it's kind of counterintuitive sometimes. We do play the one of it because it does come up. So we play one Dobermon, I think it's fine. And that's it for our champions. Very low champion count, but it's fine. It's honestly just fine. Believe it. Ultimates. We're playing 4 Skull Sadamon. When Digivolving, you mill 2, and then you can add a purple card with Demon Lord, which is Beelzemon, from a trash to your hand. We have to play 4 of it, because this card also gets you Beelzemon, which also another reason why we don't need 4 of this card. Because this card also just gets you Beelzemon. So, like, it's fine. And the inheritable here is the same as Soulmon. Once returned, if something is trashed from deck, gain memory. It's broken. We are playing 1 Black War Growlmon for the combo that I find super unnecessary in the deck. But if you get it, you kind of just sometimes win the game in certain circumstances where you can just delete something on the field to restand. On Blast Mode, it's really freaking strong. On regular Beelzemon EX2, you get to mill again for attacking. So that's kind of good, but like super win more, if you want my opinion. And the Digiburst 3 to bring back something from trash kind of comes in handy sometimes too. If you have a really shitty stack, which happens sometimes, maybe you just Black War grab the stack away back an Impmon or something. When it dies, you mill 3. You know what I mean? It's good. It comes up. The last ultimate we're playing is 1 Rebellion. This is for the super aggressive matchups. The decks that just attack you with big guys that can end the game. Rebellion is there at a critical moment for you to just say, no you, and then you evolve into that and then block the retaliation for a turn. It stops them for a turn if they can't get rid of Rebellion. It's just there as a one of, you should only need to evolve into it once. And if you really need to evolve into it twice, you have ways to recur it through calling and Doberman. But really, I think 1 is fine. I don't think you need more than that, to be honest. That's it for Ultimates. 6. Not a lot. Not a lot. Now we go into Megas. We have 4 Beelzemon from EX2. If this card's trash from deck, you can play an Hitmon from your trash for free, which is broken. And then, when Digivolving and when attacking, not once per turn, you trash the top 2 cards of your deck to kill something. Level 3 or lower. Or level 3, sorry. And then for every 10 cards you trash, it's up a level. Which is really good. It's good at popping boards. Sometimes it attacks twice, and that's really cool too. Sometimes you can Digivolve and attack in the same turn and pop 2 things. That's really strong. I would play 4 of it because if you mill it, it feels really good. Like, there's inherent synergies where, like, you can mill a Beelzemon with one of these Impmons in the graveyard, and, like, you can bring this Impmon back, discard a card, add this back to hand. Like, it's just kind of silly. The deck is super good at recovering its resources. So 4 of this. We do play 2 BT1 original Beelzemon. Now, a theme that you guys may have noticed is that we don't play a lot of champions and ultimates. And that's because, basically, here's how the deck works. Here's how you win with the deck. If you get a stack going, you go for it, and you go into this Beelzemon. If you don't have a stack going, you warp into Beelzemon. And this Beelzemon is really good. It is really good. And I'm going to explain a situation later, but being able to warp right away, not pass the turnover, and swing and turn this into a blast mode, the same turn, is a very big power play. So we do play 2 of it for that reason. On Digivolving, it pops to level 4 lower. That's cool. But it's really there for the warp. That's it for level 6s. We do play 3 blast mode. 4 is really too clunky. I want to play 4 because it has a really cool effect where if you mill from deck, you'd level 4 lower. But the deck already pops level 4 lower cards really easily, so I think it's unnecessary. When you Digivolve, you delete your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. Unfortunately, the Reaper is not affected. Yeah, we know. Okay, great. And then when you attack, during your turn, you have security +1 for every 10 cards in trash. This card can just end games. Like, you swing for a bunch of damage, and then you either purple Lobo for game, that card, or you have the Black War Growl. And then you just attack for game anyway. So yeah. It's your big boss monster. 3 is fine. We move on with our lives. It's all you need. Tamers. We're only playing 4 Ayamako. After a lot of testing, it's the only tamer you need. It is a memory tamer. During your turn, when you attack with a Digimon, you suspend this to mill a card. If that attacking Digimon is Beelzemon, you can evolve in the blast mode from your trash for 3, which is crazy. So we're going to combo that with the next card here being 4 Mist Memory Boost. Mist Memory Boost is a memory boost that mills 2 and draws you 1 on play, which is good. And then you can crack it for 2 memory at any point in time. So ideally, the combo, right? This is why we play 2 regular Beelzemon from the original set. If you have this, and you have this in trash, and you have this in hand, and you have any Impmon in hand. Sure. You bring up your Impmon. You're at 3 memory. You crack this. You're at 5 memory. You evolve into this for 4. Your turn does not pass because you have memory boost. So you're at 1. You swing. You do the thing. You mill a card, whatever, and then you evolve into blast mode. Made possible solely by the fact that you have this Beelzemon and a memory boost and a memory tamer. And it's not a lot of setup, guys. It looks harder than it seems. Trust me. It's easy. Easy! And then that's really cool. That's the combo. You can't do that with the regular stack. If you have this and the memory boost, and you bring up an Impmon, you have to pay 2 to evolve to champion and 3 to evolve in the ultimate. And sure, maybe you mill 1, but unless you're milling cards, particularly our next option, which is 4 Deathslinger, where when you get milled, you get your memory. Unless you're milling Deathslingers, you can't blast mode the same turn, because your turn will pass over when you evolve into your Beelzemon. So we do play this because of memory game. That's the combo. That's the combo. That's the combo. That's a really good combo. Like, it's good. Anyway, yeah, 4 Deathslinger now. When you mill it, you gain a memory. It's cool. Its main effect is you delete when your opponent's level 4 Digimon. And then for every 10 cards you trash, you increase the level by 1. Which is strong. When I can pop Megas late game, it's very good. Anyway, so we play 4 of it. And then we also play 2 Calling from the Darkness. You guys know what this card does by now. It's kind of broken. You delete a Digimon, and you turn up to 2 purple Digimon from your trash hand. It recurs your resources. It's a really good card. If you mill it, it feels kind of bad, but like that's fine, whatever. And the last card we're seeing here in the deck, which can be a third one of these if you really, really want it, is Darkness Wave. On play, you trash the top 3 cards. That's all it does because we don't have the yellow cards in this deck. And if you get security, activates. I found that having the 1 copy of this gives us the extra milling sometimes that you need, whereas Calling doesn't, which is why I'm only playing 2 Calling as opposed to 3. I'm trying the 1 Darkness Wave. I'm still trying the 1 Darkness Wave, and it does come up for milling. It is a mill deck after all. So as many cards, this card just mills for 1 cost. It just does it. It just does it. Anyway, the deck is really fun. It has good matchups all around, except D-Reaper. It is your hardest matchup, but even that's super manageable, especially if you have Psychmon. And I do recommend giving this deck a try. There's definitely ways to play this deck and pilot the success. You gotta mill really well sometimes, but you can do it. I believe in you. That's it for the deck profile. Let me know what you think. Okay, bye! Okay, there we go.